What's the most hurtful thing you've ever heard about yourself by accident in sophomore year of high school? I had 3 girls who bullied me mercilessly. I heard a lot of things that hurt my feelings, but the worst one was this one day when my dad was helping me carry things into school for a project. We passed by one of the girls with some of her friends who didn't know me, and I heard her go, "Why does she dress like that? She's so weird. She's literally always happy about every little thing. It's so annoying." Really loud, my dad and I both heard it. He is very socially awkward, so he couldn't bring himself to say anything. He also didn't want to acknowledge that he heard it, because I think he thinks I didn't want him to bring it up. I just kind of saw his heartbreak in his eyes. I can imagine his pain. I know I would break down in tears if someone ever said something mean about him, whether he was there or not. We both just kept walking, and we stopped talking. It was a long and silent walk. I don't know why she criticized what I was wearing. I was wearing leggings and a plain t-shirt. I felt better in junior year at one point. The bullying had gotten so bad that they would tweet about me and then throw me down farther if I tried to stand up for myself. They'd make up names for me and whisper them when I was doing presentations in class to throw me off. One time I found out my grandmother died while I was in class, and one of the girls goes, "Oh my god, she's crying really loud." Thankfully, my teacher didn't put up with her. They also bullied her daughter at points. Though I was the main target, she would tell them off one. Even physically wrecked my school project anyway. One day I just couldn't handle it. During my free period, I went to the auditorium and just cried. I didn't know the tech director was in there with some of my peers. They came up to me and I remember saying, "How do you handle it when someone doesn't like you?" And they all knew who I was talking about. I remember these sweet kids. Most of them were a part of the LGBTQ plus community, and they knew what it felt like to be bullied. Told me they were jealous. They told me that I was beautiful and smart, and that everyone in the school, it was a tiny school, liked me, and they couldn't handle that. They also told me they couldn't handle that. I was happy, and life that always stuck with me. It changed my view. The girls were all overweight and rude and mean. They were always complaining too. It was clear they weren't happy later on. One of them tried to sabotage me in senior year by taking my project I worked for months on and tore it to shreds. It was a trifold board, and she ripped everything off of it and scribbled on it. The principal knew what I was going through and told me that if I thought it was sabotage, they would treat it as such, which is reason to suspend or even expel. I believe in karma, so I told them I believed her that it was an accident and she was let go with a detention. Well, karma did get them. One of them was arrested a few weeks after graduation. Another was dumped by her boyfriend and is randomly suffering from hair loss. The third dropped out of college or was kicked out, which is likely for her. But I did, of course, get my own little revenge on the girl who wrecked my project before graduation. We were friends for a few months in freshman year when we were both new. I had a stick of concealer in my backpack that she always borrowed one day. I realized it was what made me break out. I kept it in the bottom of my bag for 4 years without a cap, collecting crumbs and dirt and bacteria. I had completely forgotten about it. Well, this girl has the nerve to ask me to borrow it one day in senior year after wrecking my project. I gently wiped the top of it off so it appeared clean and let her borrow it. She came in later that week with horrible skin. She had broken out everywhere I didn't even feel.